The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him, and he delivers them. Psalm 34 verse 7. From the foundation to the roof, I have stretched my power over your home. There is no shadow nor danger that can cross the threshold where my presence has been invoked. Every corner that was consecrated in faith, every word of trust spoken within your walls, has been heard and sealed by my authority. The invisible has become your defense, and whatever tries to touch what is yours will be confused and disarmed before taking a single step. I have placed my guardians over your doors, angels who do not rest, who watch while the world sleeps, and who act when danger rises. Their wings are unseen, but their movement changes the air. They cover your entrance, your rest, and your paths. No force of darkness can withstand the barrier I have established, for where my word reigns, evil vanishes. Your home has been marked with an eternal seal, not a visible symbol, but a sign that the enemy recognizes and fears. The threats that roam the world cannot penetrate my decree. I have closed the cracks through which fear tried to enter and sealed the windows that once allowed despair inside. What was once vulnerable is now strengthened. The walls that seemed fragile now shine with my glory, and the foundations that once trembled have been set firm upon my power. I have seen the nights when uncertainty knocked at your door. I have felt the tension hidden within silence. But in those hours, my hand descended as an unbreakable shield. While others trust in alarms or locks, you have trusted in my word, and that faith has raised a wall unseen by human eyes. No sudden disaster will surprise you, for my gaze remains watchful, and my defense never ceases. The forces that seek to destroy homes are confused before my presence. Where they try to sow fear, they find peace. Where they wish to cause division, they encounter unity. I have extinguished fires before they began, stopped accidents before they formed, and turned aside tragedies before they reached your loved ones. What the world calls coincidence, for you is purpose. Nothing escapes my design when a family decides to honor me under their roof. The ground you tread inside your house is sacred territory. Every step within it resounds in heaven. Where my promises are remembered, the walls become witnesses of my faithfulness. The furniture, the hallways, the rooms, everything has been covered by my spirit. Even when the wind blows strong or the storm rages outside, there is calm within. The peace I have given does not depend on the weather or on the noise outside. It remains as an unquenchable fire, fueled by my constant presence. I have raised columns of light around your family. No one can bring them down, for they are not made of stone but of faith. Every prayer born from the heart raised another column. When you believed without seeing, another was lit. When you gave thanks without understanding, the wall was reinforced. Now your home is surrounded by an invisible fortress no human power can imitate. I have seen the enemy's attempts to strike in moments of weakness. But before his plans succeed, I send forth my voice to scatter his shadows. Every dark thought that tried to take root in your home, I destroy with my light. Every negative word spoken against your household, I turn into blessing. And every attempt at division, I transform into a new bond of love. Nothing is lost when my protection reigns. When the night seems darkest, my light shines brightest. I do not allow danger to advance unnoticed by my power. I have surrounded your home with the strength of my justice. No one may cross its limits without being stopped by my will. Even on the days when all seems uncertain, my hand remains firm over the roof that shelters you. There are battles you will never see, for I have already won them before they appeared. There are tears that never fell, because I wiped them away before they formed. There are threats you never knew existed, because my angels faced them in silence. That is the magnitude of my protection, to act before danger even knows it exists. Your home is not only defended, it is consecrated. I have decreed it to be a refuge for the weary, comfort for the wounded, and a beacon for those seeking hope. When someone enters through your door, they will feel my peace before speaking a word. The atmosphere of your house will speak louder than any sermon. For where my presence dwells, the environment changes, the air is purified, and darkness flees without looking back. I have commanded my angels to establish permanent watch. There will be no night without light, nor day without protection. Every room is under heavenly surveillance. Even when your eyes do not see it, there is movement in the spiritual realm in favor of your family. No shadow can hide from my sight, and no force can break through the barrier my voice has raised. When fear tries to return, remember that I have already raised a defense. When insecurity strikes the walls of your mind, remember that the door of your heart is sealed with my mark. When danger seems near, remember that the battle has already been won. No enemy shall prevail, nor hidden plan endure. My word has declared everlasting victory over your dwelling. I have touched the roof of your house with my glory. From above I descend as a protecting fire. Nothing escapes my sight. From the foundations to the very air you breathe, all is filled with my power. If the world trembles, your walls will remain firm. If the news spreads fear, my voice will be louder. If nations shake, your family will stand steady, for it is under the shelter of the Most High. Every dawn is a reminder that I still guard what is yours. Every nightfall is a sign that my hand never withdraws. I have seen your days of effort and your nights of prayer, and I have turned them into a shield that will not crack. Even when you feel alone, heaven moves on your behalf. And when circumstances turn against you, my protection will appear as a wall of fire around you. Tragedy has no power over a home covered by my promise. Danger finds no entry when my word governs. Rumors of destruction dissolve before my presence. I have set boundaries no one can cross. I have sealed doors no one can force open. What is under my covering remains. What belongs to me no enemy can touch. Let your trust rest not in what you see, but in what I have decreed. For my protection may be invisible, but it is real. When you sleep, I keep watch. When you work, I guard. When you travel, I accompany. And when you pray, heaven opens in your favor. Every act of faith born within your home strengthens the shield surrounding you. Today I declare over your house a defense without end. Winds will blow, storms will roar, but your dwelling will stand firm. Not because you are strong, but because my strength upholds you. Not because nothing bad happens, but because in every circumstance I will be your refuge. Darkness may try, but it will not prevail. The threat may shout, but its voice will be silenced. My presence will be the wall that time cannot tear down. And so this covenant shall remain. As long as faith endures, the shield will not fall. My protection will be your inheritance, a promise passed from generation to generation. No one will erase what I have established over this house. In it my peace will rest, in it my power will dwell, and from it will rise testimonies of my faithfulness. Under his wings you will find refuge. His truth shall be your shield and rampart. Psalm 91 verse 4. I have stretched over your home a mantle woven with my faithfulness. No shadow can pierce the fabric of my power, for every thread was formed from eternal promises. This mantle neither ages nor tears. It withstands time, storms, betrayal, and fear. I have spread it over your house, and while it remains extended, confusion will not reign, danger will not prevail, and anguish will find no rest within your walls. The houses of the world are covered with roofs of wood, concrete, or metal. Yours is covered with my presence. From dawn until midnight, my covering remains alive. It is not only protection, it is a heavenly atmosphere. When weariness tries to enter, the mantle dissolves it. When sadness seeks to stay, the warmth of my presence drives it away. I have chosen to make your home a place where peace takes deep root, and faith blooms without fear of being uprooted. The enemy watches from afar but cannot approach. What he sees is a radiant light rising from your roof and ascending to heaven. That light is the sign of my covenant. Every time you lift a prayer, the mantle is strengthened. Every word of gratitude extends it beyond your walls. What began as simple faith has become a luminous fortress covering all who dwell with you. I have blessed the entrance of your home so that everything crossing that threshold is filtered through my grace. No malicious word will prosper within. No energy of sorrow will find an echo. Every visitor who steps through the door will feel peace before speaking. For this mantle is not merely a defense. It is a visible declaration of my sovereignty over what belongs to you. I have seen how worry seeks to open cracks in the hearts of families. That is why my mantle not only protects from the outside but also heals from within. It covers thoughts, wraps emotions, and calms disagreements. When love seems to grow cold, my covering rekindles the flame. When faith feels depleted, my mantle pours out hope. There is no domestic wound my presence cannot restore, nor family void my power cannot fill. At night, when silence grows heavy and the mind fills with fears, my mantle becomes a blanket. It rests upon every bed, covers the dreams, silences the echoes of the past, and shields against the enemy's attacks. No spirit of confusion can invade a home covered by my glory. I have commanded that every disturbing thought dissipate in the air before it enters the minds of your loved ones. While the world grows restless, your nights will be marked by true rest. No weather can weaken this mantle. If the day turns dark, it shines from within. If the winds of trouble strike hard, it clings even tighter. If the world's forecasts announce destruction, my covering becomes an impenetrable refuge. It is not a mere spiritual symbol, it is an active reality. While human eyes see only a roof, in heaven there is a radiance that testifies your home has been set apart under my guardianship. I have decreed that every word of fear spoken within your home be replaced by promises. When one of yours declares doubt, my spirit will respond with certainty. When someone expresses despair, my power will speak of future. Every conversation within your walls will be purified by my presence. I have transformed your home into a sanctuary where faith is strengthened and negativity extinguished. The mantle I have raised is not fragile. It is composed of heavenly fire and divine peace. At times you will feel it as a gentle warmth that soothes, at others as a cleansing wind. But it will always be there, reminding you that you are not adrift. It is no coincidence your home stands firm when all around it trembles. It is because I have covered your foundations with purpose. I have woven around your home a story of preservation that the years cannot erase. Every member of your family is included under this covering. There is no age nor distance that can break its reach. If one of yours travels far, my mantle extends to reach them. If one of them falls into weakness, the covering wraps around to lift them. When you unite in prayer, the radiance of the mantle grows and touches other homes. Your house will be the starting point of a protection that multiplies over many. I have seen homes destroyed by harsh words, selfishness, or fear, but this will not be your destiny. My covering will bring reconciliation where distance once ruled. It will make conversations flow, hearts soften, and understanding replace pride. Each day under this mantle will be an opportunity to love without fear and forgive without limits. The miracle of protection is not only to defend you from evil but to renew your way of living under my guidance. I have prepared moments when you will feel my peace descend like a golden mist. It will not be illusion or coincidence. It will be the sign that my presence has manifested in power. In those moments, the air will change, the atmosphere will grow light, and your thoughts will find rest. There I will be, renewing your home from the invisible, filling every space with heavenly strength. Conflicts that once seemed impossible to solve will yield before my covering. I will not allow tension to rule what I have blessed. My mantle acts as mediator, as a force that disarms anger before it wounds and breathes compassion where hardness once dwelled. When words stop and pride seeks control, my presence will speak for you. My power not only halts external danger but redeems what is within. I have set a boundary around your dwelling that the enemy cannot cross. Every attempt to bring division, ruin, or accident will vanish before reaching you. Where other homes were struck by chaos, yours will remain in balance, not by luck but by promise, not by merit but by eternal love. No door will open to destruction, for divine covering keeps it sealed. This mantle does not depend on mood or circumstance. Its strength flows from my will, not from human emotion. Even when you doubt, it stands firm. When you feel weak, it continues to cover. When you think all has fallen apart, it remains stretched over you. Nothing can remove it, nothing can wear it down. It is a living covenant, sealed with my truth. I have made every new sunrise bring renewal to your covering. The sunlight that enters your windows does more than illuminate, it activates my blessing over all you touch. From your first step in the morning to your last thought at night, my protection remains in operation. You do not need to understand it, only believe. Faith keeps alive the radiance that repels every shadow. Your home will be a visible testimony of how divine protection works. Others will see stability where the world offers chaos. They will hear your peace and not understand how it endures. Then they will know it is not human effort but heavenly intervention. For where my name is honored, miracles become daily events and tragedies lose their power. No plague will touch your dwelling, no rumor of destruction will succeed, no spirit of fear will find rest within your atmosphere. I have decreed that harmony reign over you. The voices that once brought confusion will be silenced, and in their place will resound the certainty of my promise. This is a time when my protection will not be intermittent but constant, steady as the pulse of life itself. By day the mantle will be your shield, by night your covering. In joy, it will be your reason for gratitude, in difficulty your refuge. I have prepared this home so that nothing can steal your calm. Even when the world's news proclaims danger, you will remember your roof is covered by eternal promises. No storm will last long enough to destroy what has been sealed with my presence. And when the years pass, my covering will remain. The children of your children will still live under the shadow of this covenant. They will say that in that house there was always peace, that the walls retained the divine presence, that something sacred protected all who crossed its door. That will be my mantle, a heritage of light that does not fade. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. Isaiah 54 verse 17. I have seen the hidden movements of the enemy. I have observed every shadow that tried to creep over your own. Nothing that is plotted in secret can remain hidden from my sight. Today I release an invisible and powerful act. I break the plans of evil against your family. Every strategy that was raised in silence, every word that sought to open cracks in your home, every intention that tried to sow fear or division, is shattered under my authority. My presence moves like fire among the walls of your house. Every spirit that tried to find an entrance is consumed. There is no opposing force capable of resisting the covering I establish. From this moment on, my justice rises as a wall around your loved ones. The plans that the enemy designed with precision disintegrate before reaching their purpose. What seemed to advance against you now retreats before my power. I disarm the traps set in the unseen. I cut the alliances that were formed to bring conflict, sickness, or loss. I declare a new atmosphere over your home. The very air is filled with my protective breath. Every room becomes infused with peace, and every shadow that dwelled there vanishes without a trace. Nothing can take root where my presence abides. The tongues that rose with malice are silenced. The curses spoken with destructive intent are reversed into blessing. I transform words of judgment into words of favor. No accusation will prosper against yours, for my justice surrounds them. There is no human decree nor spiritual sentence that can overcome my voice. I visit your house with power. I enter the depths of what was affected and restore it. I cleanse the memories the enemy used to bring fear or guilt. Where there was anguish, I establish trust. Where there was division, I plant reconciliation. Where the atmosphere had grown heavy, I send my breath and renew everything. The walls of your home will not be fragile. I reinforce them with my word. I cover them with my eternal covenant. No storm will be able to tear them down, for they are founded upon my faithfulness. What was built upon my name will not fall. When the wind blows fiercely, my power will be your anchor. When external voices seek to disturb, my presence will be the silence that quenches confusion. I break the plans of evil that move through the ordinary. I cancel every hidden intention within gestures, words, or attitudes. I deactivate the seeds of discouragement that were planted to divide. No root of resentment will prosper. I extract what the enemy tried to hide in hearts, and I pour out forgiveness that heals and unites. I declare that the nights which once were restless are now transformed into deep rest. The fear of the night loses its power. Angels guard every corner, and sleep becomes a refuge of peace. No nightmare nor spiritual disturbance will penetrate the limit of my protection. The enemy planned to touch your finances, but I close his hand. He planned to weaken your body, but I restore your strength. He planned to confuse your thoughts, but I renew your mind. Every plan was foreseen by my wisdom, and nothing he intended will be fulfilled. The paths through which he tried to enter are closed one by one. Every attempt of spiritual theft is frustrated. The doors left open by negligence are sealed with my light. I cleanse what was contaminated and renew the spiritual atmosphere around you. Nothing will claim authority over what already belongs to me. Your family belongs to me. Your house is under my dominion. I annul the attacks that moved through past generations. I break the patterns that tried to repeat again and again. What destroyed your ancestors will not destroy your descendants. The cycle ends here. My covenant establishes a new line of inheritance, an inheritance of peace, stability, and favor. My voice transcends time and reaches what has not yet happened. I crush the future plans of evil. I anticipate attacks that have not yet manifested and disintegrate them before they are born. My protection is not momentary, it is eternal and constant. No trap can surprise me, for everything is exposed before me. I awaken in your family an unbreakable spirit of unity. Where there was once emotional distance, I plant tenderness. Where there were hurtful words, I sow understanding. The invisible cracks the enemy tried to use to enter are sealed with my love. The harmony that now rises in your home will be a testimony of my power. From today on, every decision will be guided by my wisdom. I will cancel the errors the enemy wanted to use to lead you astray. I will ensure every step you take is covered by my counsel. No wrong door will open. No harmful influence will trap you. Evil will not disguise itself as opportunity, for my discernment will walk with you. I release over your household a spiritual strength the enemy cannot break. I give them emotional stability against attacks. I infuse them with courage amid uncertainty. No threat will intimidate them. The fear that once controlled decisions fades under my light. I break the chains the enemy raised in secret, chains of anxiety, comparison, guilt, and anger. I declare freedom where there was oppression. I declare faith where there was doubt. I declare hope where despair once reigned. My power acts like a river that sweeps away everything that does not come from me. The atmosphere of your home becomes an altar. Every conversation, every gesture, every laugh and tear will be touched by my presence. Where there was once burden, now there is lightness. Where there was confusion, now there is clarity. Where tension was breathed, now peace flows. I raise a banner of victory over your home. What the enemy tried to use as a weak point becomes your greatest strength. What seemed a threat is transformed into testimony. The attack becomes fuel for my glory. No harm will remain unredeemed. No attempt of evil will bear fruit. I have decreed that your home will be a light in the midst of darkness. Even when crises, insecurity, or fear rise around you, your household will stand firm. What touches others will not touch you. What destroys others will not enter your door. There is an invisible line the enemy cannot cross, for it was drawn by my hand. Every time the enemy tries to approach, he will hear my voice like thunder. He will not withstand the authority of my word. The dark forces will recognize my seal and flee without looking back. The war will not be inside your home because it was already won outside of it. I myself stand between your family and danger. No form of tragedy, accident, or misfortune will have dominion. I will reverse what seemed inevitable. I will stop what the enemy thought he had already achieved. My intervention does not arrive late. It arrives with divine precision. And when my protection manifests, you will know it was not luck nor coincidence. It was my power acting in the unseen, defending what I love. I will make every victory a clear sign of my faithfulness. Your children will see, your generations will remember, and your home will become a testimony of miraculous protection. Thus I declare, the plans of evil against your family have been broken. No force, visible or invisible, will be able to rebuild them. Your home rises under a new atmosphere of light, authority, and favor. Everything that touches your table, your doors, and your walls is consecrated under my covering. Danger retreats, the enemy flees, and peace remains. For I have spoken, and what I speak is fulfilled. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. Matthew 18 verse 20. When my name is invoked with sincerity, heaven descends. There is no wall too thick nor distance too great that can prevent my presence. When my name is spoken with faith, the atmosphere transforms. I do not come as a passing shadow, but as a power that establishes itself and remains. On this day, I declare over your home an eternal movement. My presence dwells among those who call upon me, and my covering becomes the mantle that protects all that belongs to you. Your house will not be an empty space, it will be sacred territory. Every corner will be filled with my glory. Every word spoken in my name will be a seed of light. When a prayer rises, heaven will respond. When a tear falls in faith, it will become testimony. Where others see walls, I see an altar. Where others perceive only silence, I hear worship. My presence is not a visitor that comes and goes, but a fire that remains burning. When I am invoked with purity, I establish myself among my own. I make their home my dwelling. I surround them with my radiance and release peace that does not depend on circumstances. Each day, my spirit will move freely within your house, guiding, healing, strengthening, and guarding. There is no darkness that can coexist with my light. There is no spirit of fear, ruin, or discord that can resist when my presence dwells. Every opposing energy dissolves before my power. The very air is purified when my name is exalted. I declare that the atmospheres that once oppressed your surroundings lose all authority. What once caused restlessness fades, and what once provoked fear is transformed into rest. Your home becomes a meeting point between heaven and earth. There my peace, my wisdom, and my strength will manifest. Thoughts will be ordered under my counsel, and emotions will be balanced under my comfort. I will not allow chaos to have a voice where my presence dwells. I silence the storms that rose within and establish deep calm. I dwell among those who call upon me, and in my dwelling there is victory. Every time you speak my name with reverence, the environment will respond. The walls, the floors, the ceilings, everything that composes your home will become witnesses of my glory. There will be no place for fear, for trust will reign. There will be no place for discouragement, for joy will bloom. The enemy seeks empty spaces, distracted hearts, homes where noise has replaced prayer. But where my name is invoked, there is no emptiness. Where my word is loved, there is no space for confusion. My presence fills what was hollow, repairs what was broken, illuminates what was hidden. Every corner of your house will be touched by my purpose, and my purpose will bring fullness. Where I am worshipped, I establish thrones of protection. Where I am invoked, I deploy armies of light. The walls of your home will be like burning barriers that block the entry of evil. It is not only about defense but also about manifestation. My glory not only protects, it transforms. Those who enter your house will feel peace before they know why. They will perceive my presence before hearing a single word. You do not need grand structures nor elaborate words, only the faith that springs from the heart. When my name is lifted from a sincere place, the entire atmosphere responds. Evil withdraws, sickness retreats, fear dissipates. My presence becomes the atmosphere, and the spiritual environment changes completely. Where there was heaviness, there is now freedom. Where there was coldness, holy fire now burns. I have determined that your home be an extension of my presence. From the doorway to the smallest corner, my light will move. Nothing will remain untouched. Memories will be cleansed, objects will be blessed, the environment will be consecrated. What was once a scene of sorrow will become a place of miracles. What was once a symbol of loss will become a sign of restoration. My angels will dwell among you, not as visitors but as guardians. They will move silently, watching every step, intercepting every attempt of harm. No opposing intention will be able to materialize. They protect the surroundings, but it is my presence that gives authority. My glory becomes a cloud that covers the roof of your house. That cloud does not fade with time, for it is born of my faithfulness. I declare that every conversation within your home will be under my direction. Words will cease to be a source of conflict and will become a source of edification. Decisions will be made with wisdom, and emotions will align with peace. I will not allow discord to have power where my presence reigns. Each day will bring a new manifestation of harmony, and each night will be a safe rest. To dwell among those who invoke me means more than simply being present. It means to sustain, to comfort, to guide, and to transform. It means that no detail of your family life is unknown to me. I know every need before you express it, and I prepare the answer before the petition arrives. In my dwelling there is provision. In my presence there is direction. While many seek security in external things, I will show you that true protection is born from the spiritual. When my presence is among you, closed doors open, crooked paths are straightened, and attacks fade away. Protection is not only seen, it is felt, it is breathed, it is lived. I will show my power in the smallest things, in the peace that covers the mornings, in the serenity of the nights, in the strength during challenges. Nothing will be left outside of my care. Even the details others consider insignificant will be attended by me. When my presence dwells, everything gains value, for everything becomes part of the purpose. I will not allow the enemy to steal your attention. I will raise in your home a culture of prayer and gratitude. What was once routine will become encounter. What was once obligation will turn into delight. Every time you call upon me, I will bring renewal. Every word spoken in my name will activate protection. Every act of faith will cause movement in heaven. When your loved ones gather in unity, my power will intensify. My presence will manifest with such force that every opposition will be neutralized. Even when evil tries to surround you, it will find no access, for my glory will act as a shield. The opposing plans will fall one after another, and peace will remain. Future generations will feel the impact of what I established today. My footprints will be marked on the walls of your home, in memories, in conversations. They will be reminders that in that place my power dwells. There will be no forgetfulness, for my presence will leave testimony in everything I touch. I will dwell among you in good days and in difficult days. I will not depart when the trial comes. On the contrary, I will manifest myself with greater strength. Where there are tears, I will sow comfort. Where there is silence, I will speak hope. Where there is emptiness, I will fill it with purpose. No circumstance will be able to remove me from where I have been sincerely invited. Even when the world around you changes, my presence will remain steadfast. It does not depend on seasons nor moods. I remain the same in abundance and in scarcity, in calm and in storm. And as long as I remain, evil will not prevail. I declare that your home becomes a point of light in the midst of darkness. Even those who pass nearby will feel something different. They will feel peace without understanding it. They will feel calm without seeking it. That will be evidence of my dwelling. My glory will manifest not only for you but also through you. My protection will not be fragile nor temporary. It will be a constant covering woven through communion. As long as you invoke me, my power will not cease. As long as you honor me, my presence will not depart. This will be the eternal covenant between us. Where my name is loved, there I will remain. And thus, today I establish over your house an eternal word. I will dwell among those who call upon me, and my presence will be the wall that guards them and the flame that illuminates them. Nothing will enter without my permission. Nothing will break what I cover. Nothing will silence what I bless. For when I dwell, evil retreats, peace blossoms, and glory prevails. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Psalm 27 verse 1. My light does not merely illuminate, it transforms. It does not come to decorate the darkness but to banish it. Where my presence shines, no trace of fear can remain. Today I release upon your home a brightness that breaks oppression, a light that awakens what fear had put to sleep. No shadow will have the power to hold back what I have destined to bloom. The anguish, confusion, and insecurity that once tried to dominate your atmosphere are expelled by my radiance. In the days when fear seemed stronger than faith, my light was waiting for the right moment to be revealed. Nothing can delay its arrival. It is a living light that pushes through the deepest cracks of the soul. It enters through closed doors, filters into rooms heavy with memories, rests upon weary hearts, and awakens them. What had been extinguished, peace, laughter, hope, breathes again under its glow. I declare that this light enters your home today, not as a human lamp, but as a divine manifestation that cleanses and renews. Every dark energy that once dwelled in your space dissolves. The weight accumulated by old worries vanishes. The walls of your house, which once heard words of fear, will now witness fulfilled promises. Nothing will remain the same, for my light leaves nothing untouched. Everything it touches, it purifies. Fear built invisible walls, but my light tears them down. Fear silenced voices, but my power makes them sing again. I will not allow the atmosphere of fear to reign where my purpose dwells. What once made you tremble will become the very place where you see my victory. Every night when you thought the darkness was eternal will be remembered as the moment when I began to shine brighter. Fear has many disguises. Sometimes it looks like prudence, other times it dresses as doubt or hides within routine. But nothing can stay hidden before my clarity. My light exposes what the enemy tried to conceal, the lies that made you believe you were alone, the words that planted mistrust, the thoughts that extinguished your courage. Everything rises to the surface, and what is revealed under my light loses its destructive power. I awaken what fear tried to extinguish, the love that unites, the faith that sustains, the hope that propels. I ignite the spark of joy amid the ordinary. I will make your loved ones laugh again without fear of tomorrow. I will fill your conversations with life. The anxiety that once ruled the atmosphere will be replaced by serenity. No worry will reign again where my light rests. No corner of your home will remain in shadow. From the entrance to the smallest space, everything will be touched by my brightness. The unnoticed darkness that had settled will begin to fade. You will not be able to explain it, but you will feel the change. The atmosphere will feel lighter, your thoughts clearer, your emotions calmer. Where there was tension, there will be rest. Where there was suspicion, there will be trust. Where there was fear, there will be confidence. Fear paralyzes dreams, but my light awakens them. Family projects once halted by uncertainty will move forward again. The ideas that were shelved will regain meaning. What fear declared impossible will become attainable. I will not allow a family under my covering to live bound by insecurity. My light will open paths where once there were only doubts. I declare that the spiritual atmosphere of your house rises to a new dimension. What once triggered fear will now inspire faith. Words that once wounded will lose their weight, for my clarity will reveal truth in every situation. No one will be able to manipulate you through fear, for you will see with my eyes. You will no longer move in panic, but in the conviction of my purpose. Fear tried to infiltrate through news, rumors, comparisons, and loss. But my light not only drives out darkness, it teaches discernment. I will give your family wisdom to recognize what comes from evil and what comes from me. You will no longer act out of fear, but under my guidance. My light is not only defense, it is instruction. With it, you will walk securely. I awaken the faith that seemed exhausted. I rekindle the fire of trust. The prayers once spoken in weariness will turn into declarations of victory. The spiritual atmosphere of your home will begin to vibrate with authority. Even when the world feels uncertain, my light will give you stability. Nothing external can extinguish what I have ignited within. The enemy tried to plant terror in your children's dreams, but I invade their rest with my radiance. There will be no nightmares or disturbances, for my light drives away all shadow. The nights will be holy, wrapped in peace. Where fear was once felt, my covering will now rest. The darkness will no longer be a threat, but a witness to the brilliance that conquered it. Every time a voice of fear tries to enter, my presence will speak louder. You won't need to defend yourself in your own strength. My power will be enough. My light does not debate with fear, it dissolves it. It does not negotiate with darkness, it conquers it. It does not push it back, it replaces it. The space once occupied by fear will now be filled with my glory. I awaken the courage that fear had buried within your family. That inner strength will rise again. You will no longer flee from challenges but face them with calm and faith. What once made you retreat will now make you advance. Fear will lose all control, for my light establishes dominion. I will make your home a lighthouse amid the darkness. You will not only be protected, you will radiate peace. Those who enter your house will feel a change within, even if they cannot explain it. That is the evidence of my light. The atmosphere itself will testify that something divine dwells there. And what moves within your surroundings will begin to spread to others. I restore the emotions damaged by years of accumulated fear. The mistrust that closed hearts will become openness. Conversations will flow again without tension. The family joy that seemed lost will rise again with strength. My light not only cleanses the atmosphere, it heals memory. The painful memories will cease to oppress, and gratitude will take their place for all I have transformed. In moments when it seems the darkness returns, my light will shine even brighter. I will not diminish when things grow difficult. Rather, my radiance will increase. My power does not fade before chaos. It magnifies. The denser the shadow, the more glorious my light. So do not fear when the world darkens. It is the signal that I am about to manifest. My light not only protects, it reveals purpose. I will turn every fear-born trial into a lesson for others. What once caused anguish will become testimony. Your home will be an example of spiritual overcoming. Those who see you face life with peace and faith will know something divine surrounds you. And when the days seem ordinary, when all feels routine, my light will continue to act invisibly. It does not depend on noise or spectacle. Its power lies in constancy. Day by day, it will keep your atmosphere balanced, your thoughts peaceful, and your steps firm. Fear will no longer have a room in your house. Its place has been taken by my clarity. Where there was indecision, there is now direction. Where there was doubt, there is now certainty. Where the future was feared, eternity is now trusted. My light awakens what fear tried to extinguish, and awakens it forever. What comes back to life under my radiance will never die again. The hope revived under my power will stand firm. The faith reignited beneath my presence will never fade. I declare over your home a perpetual dawn. Every sunrise will symbolize renewal, and every night will precede peace. No darkness will rule where my light abides. Fear no longer dictates emotion, for the perfect love that comes from me has cast it out. Thus I establish this decree over your house. My light awakens what fear tried to extinguish, and my glory will be the constant brilliance that keeps alive all that once seemed lost. Nothing will ever again darken what I have illuminated. Nothing will extinguish what I have awakened. Nothing will stop the life that rises under my light. For where my light enters, fear dies, faith resurrects, and victory is established. They will rebuild the ancient ruins and restore the places long devastated. They will renew the ruined cities that have been devastated for generations. Isaiah 61 verse 4. I have seen the walls that collapsed in silence, the cracks that time and pain opened between those who once shared laughter, dreams, and promises. But today I declare that no ruin will stand before my restoring power. I enter your family as a purifying fire and a creative wind. I breathe upon what seemed dead, and in that breath, my angels are released to rebuild what division, guilt, or pride destroyed. I bring a season where every stone will return to its place, where the walls of love will rise strong again, not by human effort, but by the invisible force of my mercy. What seemed irreparable will now become testimony. What was fractured will be bound by the tenderness of my hand, and no word of division will have authority within the walls I sanctify with my presence. I have seen the weariness in the hearts that tried to sustain the home by their own strength. But now I extend my power and uphold with eternal arms what their efforts could not maintain. I restore the bonds weakened by distance and lack of forgiveness. The conversations that ended in silence, the glances that turned away, the embraces that were withheld, today I transform them into a new beginning. The foundations of your home did not crumble forever. They were only moved so that I could build upon solid rock, not shifting sand. Every tear that fell within those walls was a seed, and that seed will sprout into restoration, peace, and honor. My purpose is not to patch the old but to raise something completely new. Just as I rebuilt Jerusalem after the ruins, I rebuild the heart of your family with my heavenly design. I restore order where there was chaos. I realign every life with its purpose. Nothing will be lost. Everything will be transformed. The walls that fell because of betrayal will be rebuilt with truth. Those that collapsed through lack of faith will be lifted with hope. And those weakened by fear, I now strengthen with my power. Every spiritual brick returns to its place, and upon it I inscribe eternal promises. I walk through your home with steps of light. Where there was darkness, my presence becomes dawn. No shadow from the past will continue to oppress your loved ones, for my glory rewrites the family story. What was marked by pain will be remembered as the turning point. What the enemy intended for division will become the key that unites you stronger than ever. I bring invisible tools to rebuild: forgiveness, faith, tenderness, and patience. Each is a chisel that shapes hard hearts into sensitive ones. I will touch the inner being of every family member and awaken the desire to heal. No resistance can overcome my love. I come to restore spiritual walls, those unseen structures that sustain everything you love. Walls of trust, respect, faithfulness, prayer, and unity. Where fear leaked in, I place my covering. Where selfishness created cracks, I pour out humility. And where doubt was raised, I establish conviction. Your house will once again be a refuge, not a battlefield. It will be a place where my voice is heard clearly, where my peace rests like a mantle over every room. The corners that once echoed with arguments will now be filled with songs. The nights of distance will be replaced by honest conversations. Do not fear what seems impossible. I turn hearts as rivers under my hand. Even the one who walked away will return. Even the one who vowed never to come back will feel the call of my spirit, and their path will lead them back to love. No one can resist my touch forever. I have seen those who weep for broken families, those who pray in silence for reconciliation. Today I say your cry was not ignored. While you prayed, I was already sending heavenly workers to repair the cracks. I had already begun the miracle you could not see, and now I manifest it with power. The walls of your family will not only be restored, they will be higher, stronger, purer. No one will tear them down again, for they are built from eternal material, my faithfulness. Where there was weakness, I establish strength. Where there was abandonment, I plant commitment. Where there were wounds, I bring understanding. The enemy tried to enter through the open doors of anger, but today I seal them with my peace. Every spiritual doorway of your home is now guarded by my angels. No voice of destruction will cross them. Neither criticism, envy, nor deceit will slip through, for this restoration bears my signature. I awaken in every heart the desire to rebuild. I inspire parents to embrace unconditionally, children to forgive with maturity, and siblings to protect each other. My spirit moves like wind among you, breathing understanding, empathy, and love. Every word of division spoken is nullified by my authority. Every generational curse is broken. I declare that the blood of the past no longer holds power. Your lineage enters a new season of blessing, where inheritance will mean wisdom, not pain. I am restoring even what you didn't know was broken. Small cracks in communication, hidden wounds in memory, misunderstood gestures that turned into distance. I am repairing it all with divine precision. Do not fear if at first nothing seems to change. The rebuilding of the soul takes time, but it advances every day. Even when you don't see it, my hands work in the depths. I am laying invisible foundations that will sustain generations. Soon you will see signs, dreams revealing reconciliation, unexpected messages, open doors to talk, gestures of affection where once there was silence. All of these will be evidence that the wall is being rebuilt. When families are restored, the whole earth trembles, for a family united under my presence becomes a spiritual fortress against all darkness. From your home, a light will shine that will reach other households. What I rebuild in you today will be testimony to many. The blessing I establish will be so firm that even your descendants will enjoy it. Your grandchildren will walk upon the walls I raised today. Each generation will remember this time as the moment when the impossible became a miracle. I restore the fallen walls, but I also raise towers of spiritual watchfulness. I will give discernment to recognize what threatens peace. I will teach you how to guard what has been rebuilt, how to protect with wisdom what my hands have restored. The rubble of the past will remain behind. You will not build on ruins but on revelation. I will show you new blueprints, new strategies, new words for building. You will not repeat old mistakes. This time you will build with eternal vision. Let my peace rule your decisions, my word be the cement of every relationship, and my love the main door. No spiritual thief will cross it. Your home will be known in heaven as a place where unity and faith reign. I have decreed that what was broken shall be rebuilt, what was weak shall be strengthened, what was sorrowful shall be turned into dancing. Every room in your home will become a room of purpose. Every member of your family a living stone within my temple. And when my restoration is complete, you will look back and see no ruins, only columns of glory. You will not see wounded walls but ones filled with fulfilled promises. My power does not just repair, it redesigns. It does not only rebuild, it glorifies. Today I declare over your home a new beginning, a spiritual wall impossible to tear down, a lineage covered by my eternal covenant, a family restored by my hands that will never fall again. Your house will be my living testimony that no ruin is ever final when my presence decides to dwell within it. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going both now and forevermore. Psalm 121 verses 7-8. I enter every home where my name has been invoked, and I extend my blessing over every door and every heart. I walk through the thresholds where faith remained firm even in the midst of fear, and I leave there an invisible mark of my power. Every entrance becomes a sacred boundary, every exit a path of purpose. There is no door I do not touch, no heart I do not visit. I move through the spiritual hallways of your home, those places where prayers float in silence, and I establish a hedge of light around everything you love. The doors of your house will be marked with my presence, not as a visible symbol, but as an eternal seal of protection and favor. I have seen how shadows tried to cross the entrances once open to pain. But today I close every door that leads to fear, anguish, or loss. No opposing force will ever cross the threshold my hands have touched. The keys of your home are under my custody, and no power will ever be able to force them open. Every door that leads to a place of rest will be guarded by my peace. Every door that leads to work will be accompanied by my provision. Every door where someone once wept will now become the starting point of a new story. Doors are symbols of what is allowed to enter, and from this day forward, nothing will come in without passing under my gaze. I bless the great doors and the small ones alike. The doors of the heart, of thought, of words, and of decisions. I place wisdom in each of those invisible gateways so that only what is pure and true may enter. Every dark energy, twisted intent, or voice that seeks to sow division will be stopped before it touches the threshold. Upon every frame I deposit my peace, over every room my presence, and upon every heart within that home, an anointing that strengthens and heals. It will not be a fleeting blessing, but a continuous covering that remains day and night, in times of calm and in times of trial. Walls can withstand storms, but doors determine what enters and leaves. That is why I come to consecrate them. Every door that once witnessed arguments will now become a point of reconciliation. Every door crossed in anger will now be crossed in forgiveness. And every door that once closed itself to love, I reopen with tenderness. Every heart within that home aligns today with my purpose. I touch them with divine gentleness and awaken in them a sensitivity to my voice. Where there was coldness, I kindle fire. Where there was fear, I plant trust. Where there was distance, I draw near. My presence is the bond that unites, the current that renews, the life that flows once again among your own. I bless the hearts that have grown weary of waiting, the ones who felt their faith was in vain, the ones who closed their inner door to avoid pain. I enter there without force, with the sweetness of a wind that does not destroy, and I renew their strength. I give them courage to open once again to love, to forgiveness, and to hope. Every heart in that home will receive a new measure of my grace. I will not unite them merely by human ties but by a spiritual connection that flows from heaven. I will cause them to understand without words, to accompany without demand, to support without expecting reward. That harmony will be the language of my kingdom manifest in their home. No door will be forgotten. The doors of the present, the past, and the future will all be redeemed. The doors of memory that once opened to sadness will be closed with honor. The doors that once gave passage to guilt will be sealed with forgiveness. The doors that lead to tomorrow will be opened by my hands, so that you may walk securely into what I have prepared. I bless the doors of dreams unfulfilled. Family projects that seemed stalled will receive divine momentum. What fear once stopped will now move forward under my covering. Paths that were blocked will be cleared. For I have decreed that nothing shall hinder the flow of blessing that now descends upon your home. Every physical door I touch also represents a spiritual door that opens. A door of peace replacing conflict, a door of healing replacing pain, a door of faith driving out doubt. There will be no corner of that home untouched by my power. I extend my hand over the windows and consecrate them as points of vision. Through them will not flow complaint, but gratitude. Envy will not enter, only light. Every glance through those windows will see hope, for my light will cover them with eternal clarity. The hearts of the children will be strengthened. No nighttime fear will trouble them again, for my presence will surround them like a cloak. The hearts of the parents will receive rest, knowing they are not alone. The hearts of the elderly will be filled with purpose, for my promise does not grow old. I bless the steps that cross those doors each morning. To those who go out to work, I grant favor. To those who stay to care, I give strength. To those who return weary, I give rest. Every act of coming and going will be accompanied by my peace. No accident, no hurtful word, no stumble will take them by surprise, for my covering goes before them. I also bless those who cross those doors with tears, for though they leave empty, they will return full. Though they go trembling, they will return strengthened. No suffering will be wasted, all will be transformed into testimony. I bless the doors of prayer. Every time lips open to speak with me, the answer will flow like a river. There will be no barrier between your voice and my ear. And when you pray together, the echo of your words will rise like incense, touch heaven and return with answers. Upon every door, I place heavenly sentinels, angels who will guard the entrance and the exit, who will discern every visitor, every conversation, every decision. Nothing that is not born of light will enter. Nothing outside my purpose will remain. On days when fear dares to knock, my angels will stand guard. On nights when uncertainty lingers, their wings will be your shelter. No storm, physical or spiritual, will cross the line of fire I establish around your home. Every door will become a witness of my miracles, witness to reconciliations, answered prayers, and tears turned to joy. When you go out, you will go in blessing. When you return, you will return in peace. Such will be the eternal cycle of protection I establish over your home. Hearts will no longer close in fear. They will remain open to my presence, where faith flows freely and love never runs dry. Hearts that become refuge, just like the home that contains them. The atmosphere of your home will change. There will be a peace that cannot be explained in words. There will be a sense of safety not born of surroundings but of my spirit dwelling among you. Conversations will grow softer, decisions wiser, days lighter. My blessing will be tangible. You will feel it in the air, in the details, in the simplest moments. Every act of love will be multiplied. Doors will open toward generosity. What you share will return multiplied. No need will go unanswered, for provision will walk through the doors I have blessed. I also bless the doors of wounded hearts, those who have closed themselves because of disappointment, past pain, or lost trust. I send a breeze of my spirit that softens, melts the ice, and gives courage to believe again. And when every door and every heart are under my blessing, your house will be known not for its size or beauty, but for the atmosphere dwelling within it. It will be recognized as a place where peace reigns, where love never fails, where faith never fades. The blessings I establish today will not be temporary, they will be perpetual. They will remain when the seasons change, when years pass, when new generations arise. Every door I touch today will bear my mark forever. And every heart that has allowed me to enter will become a source of life, comfort, and hope. For in that home, the miracle of protection will not be an event, but a way of life. I bless every door and every heart so that fear will never again have power, nor doubt find a place. This will be a territory where my presence reigns, where love blooms without limit, and where peace becomes the language of every day. The sound that will rise from that home will be a melody of gratitude. Every door that opens will be an invitation to my glory, and every beating heart will be a confirmation that I dwell there, guarding, healing, and renewing what belongs to me. Because the Lord is your refuge, the Most High your dwelling place. No harm will overtake you, no plague will come near your tent. Psalm 91 verses 9 to 10. I extend my power around your house and raise walls that human eyes cannot see, but evil cannot cross. These are walls forged in the fire of my presence, built with eternal authority and sealed by my word. No opposing force will be able to penetrate them. No physical or spiritual attack will find entry. Every corner of your home will be surrounded by my invisible fortress, stronger than stone, more impenetrable than steel. These walls are not the work of human hands, nor do they depend on time or weather. They do not wear down, crack, or break. They stand firm in the invisible, sustaining an atmosphere of safety and calm. When shadows of danger approach, they will collide with them and scatter. When dark plans attempt to advance, they will be trapped outside your territory. No enemy will comprehend the barrier I have raised, for it has neither visible form nor limit. It is a spiritual fortress extending beyond the walls of your house. It passes through the roof, surrounds the ground, covers the corners, and rises above the heavens, forming a shield where my protection operates without ceasing. The moment evil tries to draw near, my walls detect and stop it. Every thought of destruction dissolves before it can be carried out. Every contrary energy vanishes like smoke before the light. The angels I have assigned patrol that sacred perimeter, guarding the edges of the wall that surrounds your dwelling. They do not rest, they do not waver, and they do not fail. Visible and invisible threats will be nullified. No accident will have power, no misfortune will find entry, no spirit of fear will find rest within your home. My walls contain peace and repel darkness. They are a permanent shield, an unmoving refuge, a living defense that protects what belongs to me. I have seen how fear tried to infiltrate the emotions of your family, how worry sought to build its nest within your home. But my walls do not merely protect the physical, they guard the soul. They will not allow anguish to settle, nor anxiety to rule. My presence within the walls renews the mind, purifies the atmosphere, and fills every space with stability. No sound of threat will cross what I have established. The murmur of bad news will fall silent upon touching the edge of my defense. Words spoken with the intent to wound will not reach their mark. Every vibration of malice will be absorbed and turned into silence. The walls I raise are also barriers against destructive speech. Each night they stand firm. While the world sleeps, they remain alert. Even when no sound is heard, my protection does not cease. In the rest of your loved ones, the wall remains active, glowing with a light that darkness cannot comprehend. Danger passes by, confused by the strength that radiates from my presence. When morning comes, my wall grows even stronger. With every prayer, every act of faith, every word of gratitude, the invisible foundations are reinforced. Your home becomes a fortress that increases in power each day. It is not a wall of fear but of trust, not one that confines but protects, not one that isolates but covers. These walls also extend over the relationships within your family. Where once criticism or discord entered, understanding now rises. Where resentment sought to open cracks, my hands seal the gaps. There will be no room for division, for my protection unifies. Even when the winds of conflict blow outside, within your home there will be calm. My walls act as a shield against confusion. No spiritual manipulation, no twisted intention, no word disguised as kindness will cross. Everything lacking truth will stop at the border I have established. I have surrounded your dwelling with celestial precision. Each wall has a function. One blocks fear, another dissolves envy, another halts sickness, and another stops misfortune. Between them flows a constant current of my power. The energy of my protection moves like a river between the walls, renewing the air, strengthening bodies, and cleansing the atmosphere. The enemy may look from afar but cannot approach. He may plan but cannot act. He may observe but cannot touch. The invisible walls are a line of separation between the profane and the holy, between threat and peace, between the temporal and the eternal. You do not need to see them to know they exist. You will feel them when danger passes without reaching you. You will notice them when a situation that seemed inevitable suddenly turns aside. Each time something tries to harm you but cannot, it will be proof of the wall I have raised. I have also placed inner walls. In the heart of every member of your family stands a barrier against discouragement. When the words of the world attempt to crush their spirit, my strength within will sustain them. When pain tries to invade their emotions, my peace will set the limit. I will not allow fear to control what I built with love. The tallest wall rises around faith. No thought of doubt can pass through it. No idea that contradicts my truth will find a place inside. The voices of the world will fade before its height. My word will be the only one that echoes within your walls. I have also placed walls around your possessions and your projects. No sudden loss, no financial confusion, no theft or deceit will prosper. What belongs to you will be guarded. What your hands have labored for will be defended. There will be no waste, no ruin, no frustration. My walls adapt to every season. When trials come, they become fire. When calm returns, they turn into a gentle breeze. When the enemy attacks, they transform into a storm. There is no way to breach them, for they do not respond to human logic but to my eternal power. Within these walls, the atmosphere becomes sacred. Every word spoken in faith multiplies. Every act of love bears fruit. Every thought of kindness becomes a seed that blossoms. No influence from the outside will extinguish what grows beneath my covering. When your children go out into the world, the walls will move with them. My protection is not bound to a physical space. It follows the bloodline. Wherever they go, they will be surrounded. They cannot escape my care, for my walls have no geographic limit. They stretch over where they walk, live, and dream. In moments of uncertainty, you will remember what I have established today. You will see threats vanish before they take form. You will see crises dissolve into nothing. You will see evil intentions lose strength for no apparent reason. It will be because my walls have acted before you noticed. Evil will not approach, even disguised as good. False opportunities will be exposed in time. Dangerous paths will close. Wrong decisions will be redirected. Nothing will confuse you while my walls stand firm. Physical danger will also be under my control. No accident, fire, or natural disaster will touch your dwelling without my power stopping or reversing it. Even when the world trembles, your house will remain standing. The walls that surround it do not fall with fear nor crumble under uncertainty. With each passing day, the invisible fortress shines brighter. Its spiritual radiance repels all forms of darkness. It is not a wall of confinement but of expansion, not separating from the world but transforming it from within. Through your home, my light will flow outward, illuminating all who approach. And when others ask why your house remains firm while all around it shakes, you will know the answer lies in my invisible walls, in the covering that cannot be seen but sustains everything, in the strength that cannot be touched but fills the air. These walls will endure for generations. No age, no change, no passing time will tear them down. My protection will become part of your family's legacy. Your children and your children's children will live beneath the same security. The blessing I establish today will be an everlasting inheritance. So every time danger approaches, it will stumble against an indestructible barrier. Every time darkness advances, it will be repelled by the light of my power. Nothing will touch what lies within the perimeter I have sanctified. And when you rest, you will know there is no reason to fear, for the invisible walls I have placed do not sleep, do not weaken, and do not yield to any force. They will stand firm until the final breath of history, guarding those who trust in me. Your home will be an inviolable territory, a fortress of peace, a space where evil halts and good flourishes. That is the miracle of my protection. Invisible to the eyes, yet invincible before every danger. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. John 14 verse 27. I have extended my hand over your house and poured into it the purest substance of my kingdom, my peace. Not a fragile peace that depends on the silence of the outside world, but a living force that sustains the soul even when the noise of the world seeks to disturb it. I have sealed your walls with divine serenity and filled every room with the echo of my presence. My peace is not a sigh, it is a foundation. It does not vanish with the wind, but grows with faith. This peace I give does not arise from the absence of problems, but from the power of my spirit that transcends them. For when the heavens shake and hearts tremble, my peace remains unmoved, like a rock in the midst of the torrent. No conflict, no word of fear, no thought of doubt can break what I have planted in your home. My peace is an invisible shield that embraces every life within your walls and transforms the atmosphere where distress once reigned. I have decided to establish rest in your nights. From this moment, when darkness covers the world, a deep calm will descend upon your roof. Shadows will have no power, for the light of my peace is stronger than any darkness. Where there was tension, there will now be serenity. Where fear once reigned, there will now be trust. My angels will guard the sleep of every member of your family, and the fatigue of their days will vanish under the freshness of my rest. Do not fear when the world announces storms, nor let the confusion of the times trouble you. I have surrounded your house with the sound of heaven, and that sound is my living word that dispels all chaos. Amid the shouts of fear, my voice will be heard bringing calm, like a river that flows without stopping. Nothing and no one can alter the balance I have established, for my peace is authority, not a feeling. It is an eternal decree, not a fleeting emotion. I've seen the tears that once filled your nights. I saw the arguments, the harsh silences, the fears hiding behind forced smiles. But today those memories are covered by my mantle. The story of your home changes in this moment, because the peace I give does not look at the past, but at the purpose I have set. Everything that was broken begins to align with my harmony. The words that once caused wounds will now become seeds of reconciliation. My spirit will take everyday conversations and fill them with tenderness. My peace will dwell in simple gestures, a shared meal, a sincere look, an unconditional embrace. I have breathed upon the cracks in the family heart, and what once hurt will now be a source of understanding. When anxiety tries to return, my voice will resonate in the corners of your home as a heavenly reminder. Here reigns the peace of God. No intrusive thought can settle where my word already governs. I will make the children sleep in confidence, the adults find rest amidst their tasks, and the elderly feel my tenderness wrapping their memories. The enemy will try to whisper unrest, but my presence will raise a wall of calm around them. Every attempt to disturb family unity will dissolve before reaching their door. For the peace I place not only stays but expands, it not only inhabits but transforms. The atmosphere of your home will become a spiritual refuge, a place where heaven and earth touch. I have anointed your hands so that when you prepare food, peace is served alongside bread. I have anointed your steps so that wherever you walk within your home, every space is filled with harmony. I have anointed your words so that when you speak, even disagreements become paths of understanding. No tension can flourish where my anointing of peace has been poured. The very air of your home will be different. Laughter will have a purer tone, conversations will be kinder, silences more serene. I have commanded that the energy of my kingdom rests in your environment and that the spiritual atmosphere of your home be an extension of my throne. Where my peace reigns, confusion flees. Where my peace is established, fear is extinguished. Do not worry about the future of your family, for my peace sustains it. It will walk before each one and open safe paths. When they leave the house, it will cover them like an invisible cloak. When they return, it will wait at the threshold with arms of stillness. No destructive force will find entry where my peace guards every corner. This peace is not a fleeting promise. It is an eternal covenant. I have inscribed it in the air they breathe, in the water they drink, on the table where they gather. I have marked your roof with my name and established my rest within it. Years will pass, times will change, but my peace will remain as a constant melody that will never cease to play. When the world loses its balance, your home will remain firm. When violence shakes the streets, the inside of your home will be a sanctuary. Not because the walls are strong, but because my word dwells within them. Not because there is no noise outside, but because inside lives the calm of heaven. Every visitor who enters will sense the difference. They will perceive that something resides there that cannot be explained, something that does not belong to the earth, but to eternity. I have planted a garden of peace at the center of your family. Every act of love will be a flower, every forgiveness a new sprout. I will make that garden grow without ceasing, and its fragrance will spread beyond your walls. Those who come near you will feel the rest that flows from your home and know that I have been there. For my peace does not hide. It radiates, it spreads, and it redeems. I will give you discernment to maintain this gift. You will know when to remain silent to preserve calm, when to speak to restore unity, and when to pray to strengthen the spiritual atmosphere. My spirit will be the guardian whispering inside you whenever something tries to break serenity. You will not need to fight with your own strength, for my peace will fight for you. The external storms will continue to exist, but within your home they will have no power. The news may speak of chaos, but your heart will know it is held by an unbreakable promise. For where I have chosen to dwell, unrest finds no space. My peace will cover your thoughts, protect your emotions, and become the language of your family. Thus ends this work of protection. I have not only defended your home from danger, but I have filled its interior with fullness. My peace will be the inheritance you leave to the generations to come. They will not inherit fear but rest. They will not remember disputes but unity. Every sunrise will confirm that heaven remains attentive to their well-being. Keep this word as a treasure and allow the reality of my peace to manifest more strongly each day. Do not fear if the winds change, for your foundation is not in circumstances, but in my eternal promise. From this moment, every breath in your home will carry my name, every heartbeat will resonate with my calm, and each day will be a living testimony that I have left my peace in your house forever.